Health Week. We have covered some important topics when it comes to developing a healthy gut. We've talked about the role of diet, the importance of a diversity of plants, prebiotics, probiotics, ways for us, strategies for us to incorporate more plants into our diet. And today I just wanted to go in a totally different direction and talk about something that has nothing to do with what you put into your mouth. Actually, what we're talking about is giving your body a break, trying to have periods of time where you don't put anything into your body. And so what this is we're talking about fasting. So there's many different types of fasting. There is fasting that people will do for days at a time. There's a concept called intermittent fasting, which to me means that you're taking specific days during the week and you're doing a fast on those specific days. But what I want to talk to you about today is something called time-restricted eating. And this is a lifestyle. This is something that you do on a daily basis. And time-restricted eating, basically what this means is that you are going to limit the amount of time during which you are allowed to eat food. So there will be a window. That may be a 12-hour window from 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. That may be an 8-hour window from 11 a.m. to 7 p.m. And you can feel free to shift those wherever you want. I think what's important here is to understand the concept of why we're doing this, why we would consider doing time-restricted eating. And what we're trying to do here is tap into our circadian biology, the natural biorhythm that we have as humans. And that is that we wake up in the morning and we go to bed at a certain time, and our body is designed to function a certain way built around those times of wake up and going to sleep. And if you look at it, what's interesting is that we actually are very insulin resistant late in the evening. So just the time of day can affect the way that your body metabolizes and processes your food. If you have type 2 diabetes and you have a large dinner because you are insulin resistant later in the day, that's going to create issues for you. And so we are not designed to be consuming large meals late in the day. It kind of, if you think about it, doesn't really make sense, because that's not when we need our energy. We're about to go to bed. When we need our energy, it needs to be shifted forward to earlier in the day. The other thing that this sort of lifestyle of time-restricted eating taps into is that we lived for 99% of human history prior to civilization. Human evolution, 99% of human history, there was no civilization, there was no organization to agriculture, and so therefore we lived during a time of famine. And our metabolism, our biology was built to live that way. We were designed to have periods of time where we have a rest from eating food and we continue to do well. And so now enter in 2018 in the United States or other parts of the world, and we have tons of food. There is no lack of food. There are very few people that are actually starving in Western society. We're actually quite the opposite. We have too much access to food. And this is where this lifestyle of time-restricted eating can come into play by limiting that. What are the health benefits? Well, what we found is that by simply limiting the period of time that you consume your food during the day, there is a benefit in terms of weight loss, in terms of preventing diabetes or improving insulin sensitivity, lowering cholesterol, improving heart disease, and my personal favorite is that it's good for the gut. It's good for the gut microbiome. We have seen that there are actually changes in the gut microbiome based upon giving it a break. I like to think about the gut microbiome as being similar to a muscle. It needs exercise. But sometimes that muscle also needs a break, it needs rest. And so in the last episode, we talked about if you have food sensitivities, you can exercise the gut to try to overcome those food sensitivities by starting off moderate and building it up over time. Now I'm telling you about the flip side, which is that I really think that it's good to give your gut a break and allow it to heal. And that's where time-restricted eating comes in. Our studies show us that in terms of these benefits, weight loss, lowering cholesterol, preventing diabetes, improving the gut, that the period of time that you take in terms of giving a break, the longer the better. And so if you take a break from 7 p.m. to 7 a.m., that's a 12-hour break, and that's good. But it's even better if you give yourself a 16-hour break, which is from 7 p.m. to 11 a.m. Now, one of the things that people ask is, can I have my coffee in the morning? If I'm going to be fasting until 11 a.m., can I have my coffee? And my answer to that question is, you can do whatever you want. This is what works best for you. If you have your coffee, it's not quite as good as just drinking water. You are to some degree breaking the fast, but I wouldn't view that the same as having your coffee and, breakfast, a full breakfast early in the morning. It's just not the same. And so my challenge to you this week is to think about the possibility of incorporating time-restricted eating into your routine, and choose a day where you're going to do a 12-hour fast. And so, for example, choose a day where the last food that you eat is at 7 p.m. and you're not going to have any more food until 7 a.m. the next day, but you can have water. And see if you can incorporate this into your lifestyle, and perhaps over the course of time, you may want to extend this from 12 hours up to anywhere potentially even 16 hours and derive the benefits. So I want to thank you for hanging out this week. I've had a great time talking about gut health. You can follow me on Instagram at the Gut Health MD, and also join the Bad Yogi at Bad Yogi Official. I would love to keep the conversation going. That's what my Instagram is for. So thank you.